Start everyone out with Don's first quote of the session. Behind the scenes, I said, Don, are you ready? And Don said,
I'm always ready. We're pretty good
welcome.
synchronization there. Hey, we're getting to be like a comedy team, but better.
Yeah, I mean, a comedy team, it's important that you're building a relationship and you know how each other or you anticipate how each other going to react and interact. I think we're getting better. It's easy for us to fulfill our promise on LinkTank, which is going to walk away with one great idea. And then we just make sure we fulfill and then we have fun, right?
Yeah, no, fun is what it's all about, and there's nothing saying you can't have fun along the way, right? So why not enjoy the ride? And it makes it easier with who you're with, like any other ride. And how good are they at getting you to where you want to go in a way that makes you feel like you want to do more? So I think that's the essence of what we're trying to do with Link Tank is really express and expose the huge opportunity that most people aren't aware of because they never get to the point of being made aware of it, right? They struggle, they challenge, and actually they come back with a disillusionment that actually lends disservice to the platform when you don't do it right,
Yes.
right? So,
Case
so
in
that,
point. Yeah. I was just on a sales call. I won't say the name of the company, but it's a, I don't know how many they're doing, $50, $100 million company. They're generating 800 leads a week
hmm,
and they're doing nothing on LinkedIn. So we spoke about LinkedIn and what the possibilities are, but it goes to your point of, most people don't even know the opportunity. So then I got into it with them and they're looking to service companies that are doing a half a million to $1 million in revenue. And I was like, oh, there's only probably 5 or 10, 5 or 10 million of
mm-hmm.
those companies in the US alone. Can you handle 5 million customers? And we all laughed. But it's no laughing matter because if 50 customers can make a big difference to your business or 100 or 200 or 500, there's 1,000x of them on LinkedIn waiting for you.
Yeah, and in addition to that, there's so few competing for them on LinkedIn. So, when you realize the numbers are staggering, and I think what's most important for everybody to realize, this is not my or Mike's opportunity. This is a LinkedIn opportunity. We identified how abundant it is, how un undiscovered it is in a way, let alone explored and drilled. So I see this as a vast resource that all you need is the proper equipment, just like in mining, and the proper plan. The gold is there. How do you want to get it out? With a little shovel or a spoon? Or do you want to go in with really big equipment like you would in normal business? I mean, people, they throw $10 into this and they think it's like $1 million. They're so fearful. That's what it is. With confidence comes more success because you're believing. We're trying to unprove what doesn't have to be unproved to people who really don't see the big picture. And that's why LinkTank, our new membership group that we put together, that really is something you should look at because it's made for everybody. It's so low priced and it has so much value, that you owe it to yourself just to see what's available, right? So you have context. When you decide I'm going to go to work tomorrow, how am I going to go to work? I just inherited a gold mine, but they gave me nothing to get the gold out with. So if that was your mission, right, you would say, okay, do I want to be a gold miner? Do I want to start from scratch? Do I want to be out there? And you can. It's a lot of adventure, but it's not for everybody. We've
Yeah.
been up and down the mountain a couple times. We've got that. And today we're going to share the takeaway because we can get so caught up in the big opportunity. We forget that we have to give you some low hanging fruit that you can cash in right after this conversation and build confidence in yourself and the opportunity. Mike, why don't you share what the topic is today?
the topic is today is how to turn LinkedIn and the activities into an appointment. So Don's going to share one strategy that he's, I would say, probably the best in the world on LinkedIn at, which is surveys. I'm going to share more about the messaging on what happens when you do effective inbound. But the objective is for you to be able to walk away and say, oh, I'll do that and see if I can get some conversations that turn into appointments and sales. One thing I think we should do, Dom, is we're always inviting people to interact with us, and we have a question. So let's pull that up from Christopher
Okay.
before we jump in because we want this. This is thank you, Christopher.
What it's all about.
Yeah. So I unfortunately I don't have the answer to this question, Don. You?
Okay. Let me see. Where's Christopher's question?
It's right underneath you and I. If you look, if you
Okay.
look,
I have people in my feed that have checked their bell, yet some of their posts don't show up until like 8 hours later.
don't say WTF.
Yeah, I
You're gonna
have.
be like Biden reading off the teleprompter, and it says,
No, I
"Yes,
stopped.
and today's a glorious day." Repeat the line. Oh, and today's a glorious
No,
day.
I stopped in time. I have people I've checked, yet some don't show up until. Well, I would say that that's when they're showing up. So, I don't think you check the bell and all of a sudden messages start happening. I think when you check the bell, what you're doing is actually notifying LinkedIn that when messages are posted, you'll be notified. I mean, me and Mike, when we do our filtering to see our best prospective target audience, we always look at who has been active in the last 30 days. So that might be something you may want to do before you check a bell is see how often they post, because if they don't post in a year, nothing's going to ring.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I think he said that they posted and then it was showing up like 8 hours later. The only thing I can answer to that is that LinkedIn is a software company and it's an imperfect system. So, and we know this because we're pushing the envelope in basically every area on LinkedIn. And, sometimes I click a button and I get, the 404 error and I push it again and I hit it again and I have to close the tab and open it up again. Oh, there all of a sudden comes back up again. So there's a lot. I mean, they have 800 users on the system and, you know, their, you know, their, their software, I would say is it's as good as it's going to get, but it's not like it's not, first of all, it's not like Salesforce or something else where like we're buying it for performance. We're on their platform, and I don't think the bell ringing. I would just check it out on a few more accounts and see if it gets any better. It would be disappointing, like you said, if you click bells of 10 people that you wanted to follow because you're following Don and I's strategy of as soon as they post, check it out, see if you can be the smartest person in the room, or Gary Vaynerchuk 2 cent strategy. And then 8 hours later, they're letting you know, that would kind of defeat the purpose of the bell. But I would test it more. And then, like Don and I have always said in this group, like, we didn't know this. You found it. Um, do a little testing and then share it with us because it is something that we want to know. The LinkTank paying customers in our membership want to know. And then next week we can share what you found out and share with others globally. So thank you for asking that question. There's no bad questions. There's only great questions. And that was a great question, which I'm very curious to see the answer to.
yeah, and I think that speaks for being up to date on the latest innovations and changes LinkedIn has. And that's one thing me and Mike are at the front end of. We're just looking at LinkedIn audio we've got approved over the weekend. And that's another reason to listen to this program and to join our group is to stay right up to date on what's happening if you don't have that interest or time to do it yourself, and really add on value to what you're doing. Now, to what Mike was saying, our goal is to, get to conversations with customers based
Don,
on,
take us deep, Don. Take us deep.
okay, I'm going to go there then.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
So give us the 30,000 foot view, because your business experience and sense is incredible. I mean, you've been very successful throughout the years, and now you're doing it on another platform. But the the thought process, I always find it so much more powerful when someone says, "Okay, do that, do this, do that, do this." Okay, great. And even it's great if I get a result. But if someone gives me the big picture, then it's like, aha! I understand why to do this, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what me and Mike do have as an unfair competitive advantage going into LinkedIn, because we've been in business. We've been at high levels of business with high levels of business people. And with LinkedIn being a business platform, especially more B2B, that folds right into play. Now, the real key is to know the pieces, right? It's like tools in a tool chest. Know how to use them, know when to use them. And once you can master that with LinkedIn, because it's just like a tool chest, they give you different capabilities, different tools. One of them, like Mike mentioned, was polling. What I tend to do with every LinkedIn tool is run it out. You know what I mean? Just like if someone was to give you a car and you take it to a test track, you want to see, what it's got. The only way you can do that is be consistent with it. You can't just put your toe into a pole and 6 months later do another pole. It doesn't work like that. It works just the opposite. Yesterday's poll builds tomorrow's poll, builds the next day's poll, and pretty soon you got a rhythm. You got a routine. You're training the people who see it that, hey, some people love taking polls. Some people love getting the results of the polls. That's why they do it. If they love it and they're attracted to you and they're coming to you, and I think that's the essence of the big view, get people to come to you and want you first, knowing what you're already doing, right? It's far superior than waiting for a stranger to knock on your door and be perfect for you. It's rare, and if it happens, God bless. It's one more good thing for you. In the
Don, do
meantime,
you want to pull up a poll?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I've got one ready. Let me get
That's
it.
pretty amazing, because I thought I was putting you on the spot, but you got one ready. That's because you're doing polls every day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So here it is. I'm sharing it.
Okay, one
Can
second. Let me
everybody
hit
see it?
let me hit the share button. They'll see it. Now they can see it, Don.
Okay. So you see, this is my post. So every time I do a post, I make sure I bring a value add, an educational lesson. And then here it always is attached to a poll. As you can see, this poll is directly related to what we're talking about today is, would you like to learn more about the LinkedIn Mastermind Learning and Earning Group, right? Great value, guaranteed to succeed. I got 55 votes on this poll, 408 likes on the post itself. And if you look at it, 52 people said yes. And actually, this gentleman here I've been talking to this morning is planning on joining, who happened to answer the poll, and I responded, and now he's going to come in. And you got
So
some real,
Don, go over
yeah. So let me go over the poll.
go over the
So
mic
ba-
go over why. Let me pick your brain with a couple questions. Like, when you were starting out on LinkedIn, why did you think polls would be a way to go?
two things. Great question. First of all, whenever LinkedIn introduces something, they like to put some gas into it. And what they do is they broaden your audience when you use certain things that they want to promote. So I had a tailwind for that. The other thing is allowed me to understand a strategy that you can actually have a conversation with somebody within your post, where before you had to do the post, see a comment, send a Zoom invite. This is something you can get a direct answer to, but more importantly, or as importantly, now you have permission to say to any of these people, thank you for supporting my poll. I appreciate your interest. If you would like to learn more about the mastermind group, happy to have a call,
All right, here's
right?
going to be a weird question.
Okay.
So pretend LinkedIn didn't exist yet,
Mm-hmm.
And we're going back, before the internet, 20 years or 30 years ago. Like, how could you correlate the LinkedIn poll to like a methodology that you were using in regular traditional business?
Well, in the old days, you would end up doing a customer satisfaction review, a survey, right after a sale. You it might even be a slip of paper in the box, right? If you send somebody a product that said, love to hear your information or make a testimonial or blah blah blah. That is so hit and miss. It takes so long to build, and you still had to do it that way because it was the physical way. I think what you're pointing to that is so essential for people's understanding of this opportunity is how streamlined it is from what people used to do to what you can do. And there's people who do what they used to do right now and tomorrow, right? So this is not a history lesson. This is a legacy lesson. Too many people have done things in the past, and for whatever reason, they keep bringing it into the future. And with LinkedIn, you could shift the whole dynamics of it, right? Because here's what it is. I think what LinkedIn is really promoting is focus on what do you want to bring value to the market, right? If you're growing strawberries and that's what you're growing, then you should be promoting strawberries and having surveys about strawberries because you want to talk to strawberry people, right? It gets you out of your, I can do anything to anybody because I've got time and you've got money, right? It gets to the point where, hey, I'm exclusively this. I know what I want. I know what I can bring. And here's the bigger thing with the survey. Ultimately, it's value provided, right? Is this survey that's going to serve somebody well? Because I look at surveys that say, what's your favorite ice cream? So they say chocolate or vanilla. What are you going to do with it? Nothing, right? I just saw you like chocolate and I like chocolate too. So what,
So you bring,
right?
yeah, you bring up an interesting point, and this is something where it's bad information. I've been in digital marketing since 2005, and there's a lot of quality people that are sharing actually what works and what doesn't work. And there's a lot of people just sharing whatever they heard from somebody else. They don't even know if it works or not, but they just are a mouthpiece. So polls work because they're allowing you to get organic reach. But polls absolutely don't work if you're putting up some kind of bullshit poll, because what it
Right.
actually does, it diminishes your brand. So let me give you a for instance. Let's take an outrageous example. I'm Tony Robbins. Can't even do an imitation of Tony, but I'm Tony Robbins. I got a big brand for 30 years. And then my social media company says, we're going to do polls, Tony, because we're going to get you big reach. And they asked, what do you like better? Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry ice cream? Well, people are going to look at that and say, this is like the dopiest question I ever got asked, which diminishes your brand. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're saying is extremely important. Just because a mechanism works doesn't mean you should use it. You got to use your brain and think about the value that you're going to be able to create for your ideal customer and for you. That's where a lot of people, I see these questions, they just are heard polls are cool and polls get reach. And so they just put up these dopey polls. And I look at it, I'm like, seriously? Like you put that on your timeline. It's like it shows that you either you don't care or you have no idea what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, but I think what's important there is that what it becomes is a time suck for everybody involved if you just have your favorite color or ice cream. If it actually is worthy of the people's time and attention to do the poll. Plus, the other thing is the people who fill out the chocolate, strawberry, vanilla poll, they're people you don't want to talk to, right? Because that's what they're into, right? Wasting time on wasted stuff. So, I'm a serious guy that likes to do serious business with serious business people, and I like to get it out front, right? Here's what I'm into, here's what I'm looking for. And here's the other thing, picking up something like polling is like picking up a new sport, right? You pick up volleyball today and golf tomorrow and you do it for a day. Well, that's nothing, right? If you're going to do polls, commit to something. I think commitment is so important. Say, I'm going to do 10 polls this month, right? Just say it, check them off. It takes you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to do a poll if you're lucky. And then you get that information. Here's the other thing. Is it important for you to have more information on people? If it is, polls work. If it isn't, don't bother, right? And the other thing is like LinkedIn Live. You know, I just decided, hey, yesterday I'm going to do a what I considered a put another log on the fire strategy. I started with a LinkedIn Live, 11 minutes, and it went crazy. 250 people, right? And I just watched it. And as it diminished, I did another LinkedIn Live and built another fire, right? I could see when it's dying. 4 o'clock, did another one. You know what I figured out? I do so much thinking about LinkedIn. Why not thinking loud in front of people? It's multitasking, right? And you know what it is? No preparation, no homework. I know we got off the subject, but I just wanted to share my latest revelation. And when it says LinkedIn does not tell you how much you can do, most people stop, right? LinkedIn doesn't say you can't do 8 LinkedIn Lives today. All you got to do is figure where you're spending your time, what are you getting, what's your future. If you can fast forward and say not much, change. You know, there's a saying, once you find yourself digging a hole, stop digging. You know, and it's the same thing on LinkedIn. If you're going nowhere, and here's when you know you're going nowhere, when you start blaming the platform,
Yeah.
when you see LinkedIn don't work. So to get to the
Yeah.
point of the conversation, you know, what's your biggest takeaway from the strategies you
So,
utilize?
well, you know what? It's 2:22. I love that. And we're a 20-minute show and we want someone to walk away with one concept. And I think you've gone so deep into polling as the concept. So that's the concept for today. I want to add a few things just to reinforce what you're saying because it's crucial for everyone really to get this. So I'm going to share my screen because some people know about this and some people don't know about this. But the reason why you do want to know about it is because it's an unfair advantage. So this is your SSI score. This is LinkedIn. Now I'm pulling up me. LinkedIn's ranking Mike Weiss. So top 1% in SSI rank, SSI in the industry, SSI in my network. 83 out of 100. That's pretty good. The reason why this is important is because the very platform that you have the privilege to be on is literally telling you what to work on to be better. And
Mm-hmm.
they're literally saying to you, okay, I got 19 over here of find the right people, identify better prospects in less time using efficient search and research tools. So when I start using Sales Navigator, right now you're looking at, I just pushed this purple one. I got a 19 out of 25. If I start doing more Sales Navigator and then making lists and then making myself known to the people on the list, basically, hey, let's call it what it is. That's cold calling. If I start doing that
Mm-hmm.
in a classy way, because it's important that the people you reach out to, you have an acceptance rate. Because if you're spamming people, that you're going to get shut down. But if you're getting, our clients on cold outreach 20 a day get 50% conversions. So every 20 that they're reaching out every day, 10 are saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. But it's telling me I could be better here. I got to get this number up. This one, the green one, is engage with insights, discover and share conversations, worthy updates, and create and grow relationships. So maybe I'm not sharing enough content. Like I got to go and look at some other people's posts and say, well, great post, share that, introduce Don to this, that. They're telling you that they want these activities. So going back to Don's point of, well, how are you going to position yourself with your poll? The magic of the poll is to fall in line with what LinkedIn wants, because they'll give you more and more. And they want smart, quality, engaging content. That poll that Don's showing you, notice it kind of slipped by, but on the top of his poll, he's teaching. He's adding value. It's not like, here's my, I just put a poll up with no words, right? Do you wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 7 a.m.? So maybe if I'm, a fitness guy and I get a big fitness crew, that's important because I think you need to get up at 5 a.m., whatever. So in some certain extent, that could be okay. But it would be way better if you basically taught on top of that and say, okay, getting up at 5 a.m. is going to start, the blood flow, and it's going to keep your blood pressure down. I don't know. I'm making this stuff up. But if you taught some of that and then did the poll, then people could be like, oh, that's a cool post. And, oh, I'm engaged. There's a poll. So I want to know where I stand. And basically, they gave you some teasers in terms of what those things are. That's quality. So the objective of what we're always looking to do with each of our clients with LinkTank is really add value. That's why I always go back to Gary Vaynerchuk. It's not what you get, it's what you give. And the more you step into that, the more the platform is going to reward you. So Don, great show and tell today. And by the way, Don's been doing this for 2 years. Go on his timeline, scroll down and look, and you can just, he gives you open invitation to not directly copy, but model. That's what we invite
Mm-hmm.
everyone to do. Look at my post, look at Don's post, model, message us, ask us questions. We had, um, let's see, I know that Chris was on here before. Was it Chris that asked the question? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chris Sturrell.
yes. So Chris, so being just to close this up, Don, he had another question, which we love this. So this, we're gonna do this and close it up, just so we can, because I want to give Chris the love. When you make a post with LinkedIn Premium, are your posts showing up in more feeds only merely because you have a premium? I don't hear people talking about that. So, Chris, that's a great question. And I will answer the question with no facts. Obviously, if you're paying LinkedIn to be a premium player, you're going to get premium results more so than free. Now, you're going to find that anywhere? Unlikely. But a lot of what you do on LinkedIn is common sense. And then he has another one, Don. Um, this one, you can jump in, right? He's talking about what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think the key is there's a saying, fail to plan, plan to fail. It's just putting together a strategy and putting yourself to it. I was just thinking the other day, how long does it take for someone to start a business with no money until they can really have something? It could take years, 2, 3 years, right? If you're going to start from scratch. And LinkedIn, you're starting from scratch. So, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have context, that's the key. And the whole idea is to start and not stop until you finish. I've been posting every day for 900 days. It's just something I do now. I've been doing LinkedIn Lives now every day. Even on the weekends, I did LinkedIn Live. No one's doing them, right? And if I got 10 minutes and that's all I usually take, I'm getting out there when other people aren't. The early bird catches the worm. So I would say consistency, commitment, and get with people and know what they're doing and save you a lot of time and trouble. And whether it's us or not, that's not as important as getting with people who can kind of steer you in the right direction, be there to support you. I know I wouldn't be what I am today if a few people wouldn't have come into my life at the right time and helped me out when they really didn't have to. And I suggest the same thing, because not only do we have LinkedIn experience, we're business people, we're serious business people, and we plan on doing some serious business, right? So,
Love it. Love it.
join us and let's make it happen.
Yep. LinkTank, the program is open. There's the link. Click it. There's a ton of information. If you are so inspired and you feel like, oh, I want to speak to Don and Mike, message us. We'll jump on and answer any questions. If you want to be on the show on Friday or the following week and you have a question and we'll do a little panel session with you, let us know and share the love. We're looking to build a outrageously powerful, great, heartfelt community of awesome, awesome people. It's happening. Join us. And Don, it's a wrap on this one, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to say goodbye, but yeah, tomorrow's our first inaugural founders launch meeting for LinkTank membership. You can still get there in time. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch
I
the
forgot
URL
about
down
that.
here.
Woo-hoo! Forgot
Catch
about
the,
that.
catch the URL. Be part of the launch, and it's a great opportunity. So thank you for listening. Our next show will be on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and look forward to hearing success stories
Do
from
a
you.
poll. Do a poll.
Yeah.
A classy poll. Have a